Hello again, everyone. Today, something quite interesting happened. We can say that Coinbase, one of the world's largest crypto exchanges, basically crashed. And what's even more interesting is that the cause wasn't directly Bitcoin or the market. The cause was Amazon servers. Yes, seriously, trading on Coinbase stopped because of an AWS issue. Now, let me explain the situation from the beginning. Last night, Coinbase suddenly started experiencing serious system errors. People couldn't open trades or place orders. Some users couldn't even access their accounts. In fact, after a while, the platform switched to what's called cancel-only mode. That means you could only cancel orders. In other words, you couldn't open any trades. At first, everyone just said, as usual, that Coinbase crashed again. But it turned out that there was a much bigger problem behind the incident. Coinbase made a statement and said that the problem was caused by a multi-zone failure on the Amazon Web Services side. Now, here's the important point, friends. The system we call AWS actually runs about half of the internet, you could say. Major companies, exchanges, and applications all use Amazon's data centers, and one of the AWS centers in Virginia experienced overheating. Then, this incident led to power outages and hardware problems. So, because of a physical overheating issue, the digital financial system has been affected. Coinbase's system is normally designed to keep running even if a single AWS region goes down. But this time, because the problem occurred in multiple regions at once, the systems couldn't recover. And here, a very interesting debate began. Friends, the crypto world is always talking about decentralization, right? But if one of the world's largest crypto platforms is completely dependent on a centralized cloud system, then how decentralized are we really? What happened today actually showed this once again. Because when there's a physical problem on the AWS side, millions of dollars in trades are affected. People can't buy or sell Bitcoin. There are delays in transfers. By the way, this incident didn't just affect Coinbase. There were also problems on some major financial platforms and internet services. But I think the most important part of the incident is this. Crypto has grown so much now that we're not just talking about coin prices anymore. Server infrastructure, data centers, temperature, cloud systems, all of these can affect the market. And especially as AI grows, the heat generated by data centers also increases. Now, here's the real question, friends. Do you think the financial system of the future can truly be decentralized? Or will the entire system continue to depend on just a few cloud companies? That brings us to the end of this news segment. Now we're moving on to the price analysis, friends. We're currently at a truly critical zone on the Bitcoin side. The BTC price is currently trading at around $79,624, and we can say the market is officially at a decision point. Because for the past few days, Bitcoin has been constantly testing the $80,000 region. But a truly strong breakout hasn't happened yet. With every rise, there's selling, but pay attention, there's also significant buying during the dips. So right now, there's clearly a battle going on in the market. It's being said that especially the big investors we call whales have started accumulating Bitcoin again at these levels. The inflow of money from spot ETFs is also still keeping the market strong. That's why many people are saying this is just consolidation and the real move hasn't started yet. Now, when we look at the technical side, the $79,000 to $80,000 range is currently acting as a psychological resistance, friends. If Bitcoin breaks above this area with strong volume, FOMO in the market could increase dramatically because short positions have accumulated excessively. Especially if we see closes above $82,000, we could witness a very sharp short squeeze, friends. But we also need to pay attention to the other scenario. If BTC drops below 79,000 again, a pullback towards the 77,000 or 76,000 region could be possible in the short term, because the market is still pricing in uncertainties on the Fed side. But when we look at the overall picture, it's clear that the market still remains strong. Even altcoins are still continuing to gain momentum again. We're seeing renewed increases in volume in meme coins like Pepe, Doge, and Shiba. This usually happens during periods when Bitcoin remains strong. The next few days are truly going to be very critical, especially if there is sustained movement above 80,000. A completely different atmosphere could begin in the market. But remember, nothing in this video is investment advice. So I'm just sharing my own opinions on the movements I observe in the market. Do you think Bitcoin can break through 80,000 this month? Be sure to let me know in the comments. I love you all very much. See you next time.